My name is Emily Abel, and today we're going to be talking about exploring majors at Framingham State while studying remotely. So, all right, I'm a career counselor, but before I started working in career services, I actually was a part of the advising center. So I have experience working with students on switching majors and exploring majors for several years before I got into career counseling. So I kind of know a lot about this from both angles. So what we're going to be talking about today, basically the elements of the career development process and what does that even mean and what are some good steps to take on before even considering, your new major. I'm going to talk about a whole host of different resources that we have through the university that can help you through this process, and then the relevant offices and people that you can reach out to make sure that you're making a good decision for the rest of your time here. And then, of course, strategies to implement utilizing all of these resources. Okay, so when you think about career development, there's four main tiers of what that looks like. And so the very first thing, before even, diving into what majors are even available, how much money am I going to make in this career, the very first thing you have to do is what we call know yourself, right? So self-reflection. What are your strengths? What are your values? What's important to you? What's your personality? Because you're not going to be able to select the right field for you or the right career unless you really have a good handle on what your strengths are, because from there you'll be able to select what's right for you. It's not, kind of like a career buffet where you just pick out something and great, now I'm going to go be successful in that. It's really important that you select a major and career that is suited to you, suited to your strengths and personality. So then once you know that, it's your job to learn about different industries, learn about different careers, because, your ideas about what those might be from the media or movies may or may not be accurate. So it's really important to do your homework here to find out what these jobs are. Maybe you have people telling you, oh, go be a pharmacist, but you then come to find out being a pharmacist is not what you had thought. So you're going to do some homework about an industry or multiple industries, and then one of the main things you want to do is start to build connections. So talk to professors, career counselors at Framingham State to get to know what these careers are about. And if we know anybody who is in those fields, we have a lot of alums and we have a lot of people that have gone into different industries, and that will help you get started. And then from there, you can really start to make moves on your career and get an internship and get the whole thing started. So that's career development in a nutshell. So the first thing we talked about with career development was knowing yourself. So how do you do that? We have a really great tool that's called the Focus to Career Self-Assessment Tool. And you'll see here on the graphic that there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different assessments. They're pretty quick. The whole assessment usually takes around 30 to 40 minutes. And so basically, this is an assessment tool available to you to start unlocking, your strengths, like I talked about, your personality, your values, and your skills, and what interests you in work. So you'll see the link here. It's also on our career services website. You create a quick account. It will ask you for an access code, which is just RAMS, and then you can complete the assessment, and it gives you really great results and different barcodes, and it will give you all different types of job titles. So I highly recommend everyone take this assessment, or if you took it as a freshman and now you're a senior, take it again, because a lot can change in a few years. But then the most important thing is speak to a career counselor after you take this assessment, because the career counselor will really be able to help you make sense of what the results tell you. So when you get your results, and before you talk to a career counselor, I don't want you to run and hide if you don't like the jobs that it's telling you. A career counselor will definitely be able to help you understand the meaning of your results and how you can apply it in ways that are meaningful to you as an individual. Okay, so then the third part of the career development we talked about was knowing your industry. So we have several really great resources about learning about different fields as well. Mass CIS, or the Mass Career Information System, and ONET are both databases that can help you, you know, if you, like I said, to use the pharmacy, you know, I think I'm interested in pharmacy, you type that in, it will give you, you know, more information than you can possibly digest about what that looks like, what kind of schooling is needed, is the career outlook bright, you know, what are the main strengths and things that go along with going into a career like that. So for really some baseline knowledge on what's out there, or if you know you're interested in science, you can then, you know, look and see all of the things that are underneath that umbrella. You know, if you're, you know, okay, like science, what does that mean? I can be a doctor or pharmacist. You can get a lot more information about what's available to you. Then we have Career Spots videos, which are a great visual way to start learning about different occupations and industries as well, which all you need to do is go on our career services website, which is framingham.edu/career services. And then if you click occupational, it will take you to all different types of industries to watch quick little videos, demonstrations on different careers. So one of the best ways to learn about different fields too is directly from people who are in those fields. So I always recommend to students in this position to conduct informational interviews. So all that means is, you know, with our help, you can get connected to somebody who's doing a job that you might be interested in the future. And you're just asking them questions about what is that career like? What path did they take? What was their education like? What skills do they utilize in that? You know, what is their day-to-day like? And it's just learning by asking questions. So if you think about the term informational interview, you're just asking somebody questions to get information. What is a secondary byproduct of an informational interview is you're also networking. You're also then meeting somebody in the field that could one day be in a position to either help you land a job or connect you with somebody else that can help you land a job. So joining LinkedIn is a great way to start, build your professional connections. And again, that's something our office can help you set up. Okay, so this next tool that I'm going to show you guys, this is just a screenshot of it, but it's called the Program Pathways, and through the Academic Affairs website and in conjunction with our office and the advising office, they've set up this really great interactive tool that allows you to click on different either careers that you're interested in, and it will match you to the major at FSU, or it allows you to click on your field of interest that you're thinking about, and it will kind of, you know, give you different things that you could potentially go into. So it's a really great interactive way to connect your interests with the majors available at FSU and how those two will play out. So I really hope you guys check that out as well. Okay, so now that you've kind of considered all the conceptual things, the next step is to really think, okay, how does that translate to me to a field of study, a major at Framingham State, classes that I can take at Framingham State that will lead to a major that will then, you know, help me in the direction that I want to go. So I've brought you on this slide to framingham.edu/advising. So at Framingham State, there is a department called the Advising Center, made up of professional advisors who do exactly this. They help students, any student who's interested in, you know, having a question about classes or majors or anything. But really, this department is excellent for students who are kind of in between, right? I started out as a biology major. Oh man, I don't want to be biology anymore. What can I do, right? So they will help you. Hopefully, if you do the Focus 2, the Advising Center will help you figure out, okay, how many courses would I have left if I chose to switch to a business major? And is that going to help me with my, you know, graduating on time, or is there something else other that's related to business that can help? They can really help you map all that out. and see how long it's going to take you, things like that. So I definitely recommend getting their help before just kind of making a switch. They can help you look at things from a lot of different angles. And the screenshot that I have on here is just an example of what's called the major worksheet. So right up here is the course requirements for geography, right? But for every single major at Framingham State, a document like this exists. And so I've linked to it here. It's just under major and minor resources on the Advising Center webpage. And every single major at Framingham State has a document like this that will show you all of the course requirements for that major to give you an idea, hey, do I like the titles of these courses? Oh wow, is this too many courses? Or, oh, I don't like the titles of these courses. And you can just kind of, you can scan through all of these, right? That's what I recommend a lot of students do. Just start scanning through these and make note of what stands out to you, what doesn't stand out to you, and then you can kind of make a list, either reach out to the departments directly, the department chairs, or go to somebody in the Advising Center, which is in O'Connor Hall, the first floor, by the way. And you can say, okay, these 3 major worksheets stood out to me, you know, and have a discussion from there. So in addition to that, there's also a document called the 4-year plan. It's essentially the same information as a major worksheet. It's just laid out a little bit differently. So depending on kind of, you know, what type of learner you are, or, you know, what visuals you like, you could also check that out. Very, very similar information, including the general education requirements, the major requirements, and the amount of free electives that are available through each major. Okay. Okay, so really when you're kind of putting all of this together, really what's important is to not get too overwhelmed, but to start making a list of, okay, what is step 1? What is step 2? When am I going to do all of these things, right? So for anybody that's contemplating switching their major or choosing their major, I do recommend taking the Focus 2 career assessment that I talked about earlier and starting there to either validate what you already know about yourself and your strengths, or to unlock and discover new strengths to help you take that next step. So completing the Focus 2. And like I said, that's on our website, framingham.edu/career services, under students, and then I think it's self-exploration. All right, so then you're gonna meet virtually at this point with a career counselor to really review and to start to understand and make sense of the results on your Focus 2, and to have a conversation with them, either why you really enjoyed the results and you liked them and they felt validating, or, you know, this doesn't feel like me, and then, okay, why? Let's explore that a little further to really determine what your next steps are after that. And so number 3, I always like to say you want to access credible resources and people to learn more specifics. When I was in advising, I met a lot of students who changed their major very quickly and didn't do a lot of homework beforehand, or, you know, got advice from a family member and just did that. And then there are repercussions based on that. They stayed at school much longer than they would have needed to, or they picked something that was not a good fit. So while, you know, people in our immediate circle are well-meaning and they love us, they don't always have all of the specifics or all of the detailed knowledge. So I like to recommend that you speak to career counselors, department chairs, people in the Advising Center, students who are in that major, obviously are great resources, and obviously career professionals if you want to get more information about what the jobs actually are, the fields actually are that you're interested in. And then from there, ultimately speaking with an advisor. So your assigned advisor in your major, so say, you know, you are a Spanish major and you don't want to be that major anymore. If you go to your advisor in the World Languages Department, you say, I want to be a business major, they're not going to know a whole lot about the business major because they're in the World Languages Department. So if you speak to someone in the Advising Center, they will know a little about all of the majors to get you started, and then they could connect you with somebody in the business department to get more detailed information about the courses you need to take, what courses you need to take when, and just not operating out of assumptions, because then that's when mistakes get made, and we don't want anybody wasting time or taking the wrong courses. Certainly not. And then the advising center can also speak to you more about the details of paperwork that is involved, you know, registrar's office, procedures, signatures, all kinds of requirements like that. Okay, so that's kind of my 4-step practical strategies to begin. And then here's just some information to get in contact with people. So you can contact our general email for general inquiries, or if you need assistance making an appointment with a career counselor. You can access us on Starfish and make your own appointment. If you know you want to meet with a career counselor, you can just do that. I believe we're number 10 when you go to services. If you want to make an appointment with me specifically about anything, you can find me on Starfish. And as of right now, this semester, spring 2020, I'm meeting with students on Mondays. So if you have Monday availability, I'm happy to meet with you. If you need another day, we have counselors available every day, Monday through Friday. And then for help with advising and getting advised on taking the proper courses and exploring majors, you'll want to talk to somebody in the advising center, and you can email them at advising@framingham.edu. I love helping students figure out their majors, so please reach out. I'm happy to speak to anybody who wants further clarification or other advice on exploring majors and figuring out their next steps. So thank you so much for checking this presentation out today, and I hope to see you virtually and hopefully in person sometime soon. Thank you so much.